Never explain yourself. Machiavelli's trick to flip vulnerability into power. Instantly. The instant your lips part to justify yourself, the battle is already over. You've lost. Picture the scene. Someone lobs an accusation across the table. Your reputation questioned in front of colleagues. Your partner reframes your intentions into something darker. A stranger on social media dissects your character mercilessly. Your body reacts before your mind catches up. Heart rate spikes. Throat tightens. That familiar burn crawls up your neck. Every cell screams, defend, clarify, make them see the truth. So you do. You open your mouth. You provide context. You explain your reasoning. You offer evidence of your good intentions. And in that exact microsecond, you've surrendered every ounce of power you had. Because the world doesn't measure you by the accuracy of your words. It measures you by your need to speak them. The person who explains is the person who kneels. The person who defends accepts that the other person has the authority to judge them. Niccolò Machiavelli decoded this 500 years ago. He understood something that modern culture has weaponized against you. Power isn't about being right. Power is about controlling the frame of reality itself. The moment you step into their courtroom, you become the defendant. But what if you simply didn't? What if you gave them nothing? Right now, you're living as an emotional marionette. Someone frowns, you apologize. Someone accuses, you scramble to prove your innocence. Someone questions your worth, you compile evidence like a lawyer preparing for trial. You exist in perpetual reactive defense, constantly proving, constantly justifying, constantly seeking permission to take up space in a world that never asked you to defend your existence. It's exhausting, it's suffocating, it's a slow psychological death. But there's another way, a way of moving through the world so fundamentally sovereign, so psychologically fortified, that attacks don't just fail to wound you, they evaporate before making contact. This isn't about building thicker skin. This isn't about not caring what people think. This is about understanding where your sense of reality originates, and then relocating it. Today, we're going to examine the psychology of strategic non-defense. We're going to understand why your nervous system betrays you in moments of confrontation, and how to override that ancient programming with something Machiavelli would have whispered to princes. I'm going to show you how to invert power dynamics in real time, how to make accusers question their own sanity, how to weaponize silence as a psychological black hole that devours attacks whole, how to shift from defendant to judge without saying a word. But understand this. This transformation requires you to execute a part of yourself, the part that desperately needs to be understood, the part that believes you owe explanations to anyone with an opinion about your life. That part has been with you since childhood. It's kept you safe in certain contexts, but now it's the chain around your neck. If you can sever that chain, if you can kill that need completely, you don't just become powerful, you become unreachable, you become wind. Before we go further, if this resonates, if you felt that burn when someone attacks you, hit subscribe right now. What comes next will fundamentally rewire how you handle every confrontation for the rest of your life. Drop a comment. What's one situation where you wish you'd stayed silent instead of defending yourself? Subscribe now. Let's begin. 1. The child's courtroom. You're 5 years old. The vase slipped from your hands. Your mother stands over you, arms crossed, face tight with that expression that makes your stomach drop. What happened here? This is the moment where survival depends on your ability to construct a convincing narrative, to explain, to justify. I was trying to, it was an accident. I didn't mean. The words tumble out because somewhere in your 5-year-old brain, you understand that the right explanation equals safety. The wrong one equals punishment. Fast forward 30 years. You're in a meeting. Your boss questions your project timeline. That same stomach drop, that same desperate need to explain. I was waiting on resources. The dependencies weren't clear. You're 35, but in that moment, you're 5 again. Your boss isn't just your boss. She's your mother, your father, every authority figure who ever held the power to judge you. This is the trap nobody tells you about. You didn't just learn to explain yourself as a child. You learned that other people have the authority to demand explanations, that you owe them your reasoning, that your very existence requires their approval to be legitimate. The child learned, I must convince the authority figure I am good. The adult inherited, everyone is an authority figure I must convince. This is why your partner's disappointed sigh sends you into explanation mode. Why a stranger's criticism compels you to write 3 paragraphs of context. Why you can't say no without a dissertation of justification. You're not having conversations. You're perpetually on trial. And the courtroom exists entirely in your mind. Your partner didn't ask to be the judge. That stranger doesn't actually have power over you, but you appointed them to the bench. You handed them the gavel. They didn't take it. You gave it to them. The person attacking you isn't the problem. The problem is you're still that 5-year-old child, desperately explaining to invisible parents why you deserve to exist. This is the first chain you must break. Not the people who attack you, the part of yourself that believes they have the right to. 2. The weaponization of silence. Imagine this clearly. Someone attacks. You're being incredibly selfish right now. The old you would immediately construct your defense. No, I'm not. I did X for you yesterday. I'm just tired. I've been working 80-hour weeks. Every word is a brick in the wall of your weakness. Now imagine the Machiavellian alternative. They say, you're being incredibly selfish right now. You look at them. Your face is completely neutral, not angry, not hurt, not defensive, just observing. You maintain eye contact. You don't blink. You let the silence hang there. 3 seconds, 4, 5. Their brain goes into panic mode because humans are wired to expect a response to an attack. The absence creates a psychological vacuum. It signals that something is broken in the social script. And when you refuse to play the game destroys itself. They start to crumble. They speak again, but now they're not attacking, they're explaining. I mean, you're not always selfish. Just right now, why are you looking at me like that? Notice the shift. They're now defending themselves against your silence. The power has completely inverted. You simply became a void, and you cannot attack a void. This is the gray rock method evolved into a weapon. This isn't about being boring. This is about becoming psychologically impenetrable through strategic non-engagement. Silence does something profound to the attacker's nervous system. They launched their accusation expecting resistance. When you give them nothing, their force has nowhere to go. It passes through you and unbalances them. You become like water. You cannot punch water. You cannot cut mist. Your silence reveals nothing while forcing them to reveal everything. When you defend yourself, you show them what hurts you, your buttons, your insecurities. I'm not stupid, you shout. Now they know your insecurity is intelligence. I'm not a bad person, you plead. Now they know your insecurity is moral worth. Silence reveals nothing. It's a dark mirror. When they look into it, they only see their own aggression reflected back. And that makes them profoundly uncomfortable. The person with the most power in any interaction is the one who cannot be read, the one who gives nothing away, the one who simply observes. 3. Agree and amplify, the Aikido of Words. Sometimes silence isn't enough. Sometimes the situation demands words, but never defensive words. If you must speak, you use the Aikido of conversation. You don't push against their force, you pull it, you redirect it. You turn their attack into a demonstration of their own absurdity. There's a technique called agree and amplify. It creates such profound cognitive dissonance in the attacker that they literally don't know how to respond. Someone accuses you of something. If you defend yourself, you validate the seriousness of the accusation. You accept the frame that you're on trial. Instead, you lean into the accusation. You exaggerate it until it becomes so absurd that the original attack loses all power. They say, "You're so obsessed with money. You're greedy." Defensive response, "No, I'm not. I just want to provide for my family. I work hard." Boring, expected, weak. Machiavellian response, "You caught me. I actually swim in a vault of gold coins every Tuesday. It's terrible for my back, but the psychological satisfaction is worth it." You say this with a completely straight face, or a slight, amused smirk. You've refused to be insulted. You've demonstrated you're not insecure about the topic. You've turned their serious attack into a joke. You're showing them their attack is so beneath you that it doesn't warrant a real response. You've established something critical. You are the one who frames reality in this interaction, not them. More examples. You're so arrogant. I prefer charmingly confident, but sure, we can go with arrogant if that's easier for you. You don't care about anyone but yourself. You're absolutely right. I'm working on it. I'll add you to the list of people I care about next year. Does 3 p.m. work? You think you're so smart. Well, one of us has to be. Each response accepts the accusation without accepting the shame. They turn the attack into absurdity. They signal amused mastery. Stop right here. If you're already seeing situations where you could have used this, share this video. The techniques get even more powerful from here. If you haven't subscribed, do it now. Let's continue. 4. Amused mastery, the parent's perspective. There's a state of being that sits above all of this, a psychological position so secure that attacks don't just fail to wound you, they actually amuse you. This is amused mastery. Think about a 3-year-old throwing a tantrum because you won't let them eat ice cream for breakfast. Are you threatened? Are you hurt? No. You're amused, maybe slightly exasperated, but fundamentally you're observing this little human having big feelings about something that doesn't actually matter. You're not angry because you're secure in your authority. Now translate that to adult interactions. When someone attacks you, when they try to shame you, diminish you, you can view it through the exact same lens. Not because you're condescending, but because you understand something they don't. Their attack has no bearing on your actual reality. Their opinion is just noise. This is the psychology of high status, not status in terms of money or position, but psychological status. The person with the highest status in any interaction is the one who is least affected by it. When you defend yourself, you're getting down on the floor and screaming with the toddler. Don't do that. Stand up, look down, observe. Someone says, "You're a terrible friend." Low status. How can you say that? I've been there for you so many times. High status, a slight smile, a raised eyebrow. That's an interesting perspective. Tell me more about that. You didn't defend. You didn't attack. You responded to their emotional outburst with detached curiosity. This confuses them. It makes them feel like they're the ones being evaluated now. 5. Flipping the courtroom from defendant to judge. You know what's more powerful than defending yourself? Examining the person attacking you. This is the meta-conversation. This is where you stop responding to the content of their attack and start analyzing why they're attacking. Someone accuses you, "You never listen to me." Instead of defending, you flip the script entirely. That's interesting. What makes you feel like attacking me right now? Are you feeling unheard in general, or is this about something specific? You transformed from defendant to psychologist, from accused to examiner. You're no longer defending, you're analyzing their psychological state. You've shifted the entire frame. This technique is devastatingly effective because it forces them to defend themselves against your curiosity. They came to prosecute you, but suddenly they're on the witness stand. More examples. You're so defensive all the time. I'm curious, what specifically about this interaction triggered that observation? You never admit when you're wrong. Help me understand. When did you decide that making me admit fault was important to you? You're being manipulative. That's a strong word. What's going on with you that made you interpret things that way? Each response treats their attack as data about them, not as truth about you. You're examining their frame with detached interest. This destroys their power position instantly. 6. The fogging technique, agreement as disarmament. Here's something that will break your brain. You can agree with someone's observation without accepting their judgment. This is called fogging. It's strategic agreement that completely steals an attacker's momentum. Someone says, "You were late to the meeting." Defensive response, "Traffic was terrible, there was an accident." Fogging response, "You're right, I was late." That's it. No explanation, no justification, no defense. There's a massive difference between accepting a fact and accepting shame. The fact is, you were late. The shame is the unspoken implication that you're unreliable. When you defend yourself, you're arguing against both the fact and the shame. When you fog, you accept the fact while completely ignoring the shame. This demonstrates you don't believe the fact carries the shame they're trying to attach to it. Secure people do this constantly. They acknowledge reality without apologizing for it. You made a mistake in that report. You're right, I did. I'll fix it. No dramatics, no desperate justifications. Just acknowledgement and correction. Another version is even more powerful. You might be right. Someone says, "You're being unreasonable." You respond, "You might be right about that." You're agreeing with the possibility of their perspective without actually conceding anything. And more importantly, you're demonstrating that even if they are right, it doesn't bother you. The power of "you might be right" only works when you genuinely don't care. We're at the turning point. The next chapter reveals why some people are completely immune to attacks, while others crumble. If this is changing how you see confrontation, hit that subscribe button, like and comment. I'm untouchable. Keep watching. 7. The shadow work, integrating your darkness. Now we arrive at the foundation, the reason why these techniques work or fail. Attacks only hurt when they touch existing wounds. Read that again. If someone calls you stupid and you know you're intelligent, it doesn't hurt. It's absurd. But if someone calls you stupid and there's a part of you that secretly fears you might be, that's when the cortisol spikes. That's when you scramble to defend. The attack didn't hurt you. Your own unexamined wound did. This is why self-knowledge is the ultimate defense mechanism, not self-esteem, not positive affirmations, self-knowledge. The brutal, unflinching ability to see yourself clearly, including all the parts you'd rather not acknowledge. When you've already examined your darkness, when you've already judged yourself more harshly than anyone else ever could, external attacks lose their power. Because there's nothing they can say about you that you haven't already said to yourself. You cannot shame a man who has already accepted himself. This is the shadow work, the practice of integrating the parts of yourself you've been running from, the parts you're terrified someone will discover. Yes, you can be selfish sometimes. Yes, you've made terrible decisions. Yes, you have flaws that hurt people. Yes, you're capable of manipulation, cruelty, weakness, and when you own these truths, when you accept them without defensiveness or self-flagellation, something extraordinary happens. You become unshakable. Because the worst-case scenario already happened. You've already seen the monster in the mirror. Now when someone tries to expose it, you're not afraid, you're bored. This doesn't mean you don't work on yourself. It means you stop being terrified of yourself. You stop performing goodness and start embodying complexity. You stop needing others to confirm your worth because you've decided your worth independent of their input. This is the transformation that makes all the other techniques authentic. 8. The 7-day challenge. Theory is worthless without practice. Here's your challenge for the next 7 days. Do not defend yourself. Not once. Someone attacks. Silence. Someone accuses. You might be right. Someone tries to shame. Amused observation. This will be excruciating at first. Your nervous system is wired for defense. When you override that programming, you'll feel physical discomfort. This is the withdrawal symptom of validation addiction. Day 1, 2. Your brain will scream at you. Every cell will want to explain. Don't deliver them. Just observe the urge. Day 3, 4. You'll notice something strange. The attacks that used to derail your entire day barely register. You're building psychological scar tissue. Day 5, 6. People will start treating you differently. The shift will be subtle but unmistakable. There's something different about you now. Day 7. You'll realize you don't need their understanding anymore. You've severed the chain. This isn't about never speaking again. It's about rewiring your default response from defense to sovereignty. 9. The untouchable, from fortress to wind. The final paradox: when you stop defending yourself, there's nothing left to attack. You don't become a fortress with impenetrable walls. You become wind, present, powerful, impossible to wound. Because how do you attack wind? You can scream at it, curse it, accuse it. The wind doesn't care. The wind doesn't need your approval. The wind doesn't owe you explanations. The wind simply is. This is the complete transformation from defensive reactive to sovereign autonomous. And here's what nobody tells you. People who need nothing attract everything. There's a magnetism to certainty. When you stop seeking validation, people become desperate to give it to you. When you stop explaining yourself, people become fascinated by you. When you stop defending, people stop attacking. Because attacking someone who won't play defense is boring. It's like punching air. Eventually they move on to easier targets. You're not playing their game anymore. You're not even watching it. You're existing in a completely different reality, one where their opinions are just weather patterns you notice but don't fear. This is permanent psychological impermeability, not because you've built walls, but because you've dissolved them. Not because you've hardened yourself, but because you've accepted yourself so completely that there's nothing left to protect. You've become untouchable by becoming unreachable, not distant, not cold, just sovereign. And sovereignty, once claimed, can never be taken from you again. Stop. Before you click away, comment one word: free. That's your declaration that you're done being a defendant in other people's courtrooms. Do it right now. I'll wait. Good. Now subscribe, because what comes next will change how you move through every relationship. Here's the deal. Pick your biggest weakness, the person or situation where you always crumble, and defend yourself. For 7 days, when that person attacks, you give them nothing. Then come back to your free comment and reply with what changed. That's how you prove to yourself this works. Share this with someone who needs it. Your transformation doesn't start tomorrow. It started the moment you commented. Now finish what you started.